What happens when the greatest genius in the world decides the only thing separating him from godhood is a metal faceplate? The answer is Victor Von Doom, the self-proclaimed monarch of Latveria, and arguably the most important villain in all of Marvel history. Today we're not just looking at a bad guy, we're exploring the character defined by the most tragic origin story imaginable. A man whose pride saved his people and damned his soul. Get ready, because the echoes of Dr. Doom resonate across every timeline and every reality. Welcome back to Marvel Echoes Resonance. I'm your host, William, and today we're finally diving into the legacy of Dr. Doom. This is a character whose name should be whispered with respect, because unlike villains who destroy things, Doom takes them. He is a general, a scientist, a sorcerer, and a king, all wrapped in a suit of the most intimidating armor ever put on a comic panel. But let's strip away the Doombots and the cosmic power for a second, because the origin spark of Victor Von Doom is pure tragedy. Victor was born to a Romani family, a marginalized group in the small, oppressive nation of Latveria. His mother, Cynthia, was a powerful, good-hearted sorceress, and his father, Warner, was a healer. Now, for those of you who know Marvel lore, you know tragic parents are a trope, but for Doom, the tragedy is layered. Cynthia died, her soul claimed by the demon Mephisto, and Warner later perished while trying to save his people. This wasn't just loss, it was a profound injustice at the hands of tyranny, and it instilled in Victor a relentless ambition: never be powerless again. This is the core of his motivation, a twisted desire for order, and the belief that he, and only he, could protect his people from a chaotic world. His intellect, however, was undeniable. He quickly mastered both technology and magic, becoming a savant, and this genius won him a scholarship to Empire State University in New York City. And now, here's the main event starts. Victor meets Reed Richards. If Doom is the brooding, emotionally damaged Darth Vader, then Reed Richards is the optimistic, slightly absent-minded Obi-Wan Kenobi. Their rivalry isn't just intellectual, it's a philosophical war. Reed believed in collaboration and scientific curiosity. Victor believed in solitary genius and destiny. Doom's goal at ESU wasn't to get a degree, it was to build a machine to communicate with the dead, to free his mother's soul. Reed, being the good scientist, warned him the device was flawed. Victor, being Victor, dismissed him with utter contempt. When Doom activated the device, it exploded, leaving his face scarred. This wasn't a physical wound, it was a psychological trauma. Doom was not scarred by bad luck or fate, he was scarred by his own pride. And instead of admitting failure, he blamed Reed Richards. That moment right there is the true ripple effect of Doom's origin. It cemented his eternal vendetta against his intellectual rival, and by extension, against the Fantastic Four and the entire optimistic echoes of Marvel heroes. Now, he didn't just put on the armor. No, that would be too simple, right? After being expelled, Victor journeyed to a Tibetan monastery where he learned the ancient mystic arts while simultaneously mastering their high technology. He built his iconic armor, and then, in a defining act of mad ego, he forced the monks to strap the still cooling metal mask to his face before it had fully set, making his physical imperfection permanent. He didn't just cover his scars, he became a slave to the symbol of his failure, forging Dr. Doom in the process. And from that moment, he became a geopolitical supervillain. Doom didn't just rob banks, he went back to Latveria, and with overwhelming force overthrew the regime to become the absolute ruler of a sovereign nation. This blend of scientific genius, mystical power, and royal authority, the scientist sorcerer king, made him an instant, unmatchable threat when he first appeared back in Fantastic Four #5, way back in 1962. So let's fast forward a bit and catch up what Victor Von Doom's been doing over the last couple decades. Because, the only thing he hasn't done is sit still. For decades, Doom was the ultimate Fantastic Four villain, but his true legacy came when he tried to save reality. When the entire multiverse was collapsing, think the end of the Loki series, but with even bigger stakes, he used his intellect and the power of the Molecule Man to confront the cosmic beings known as the Beyonders. We'll cover them probably in the future. He absorbed their power and became God Emperor Doom, ruling over the combined scraps of shattered realities known as Battleworld. This was a moment of true twisted triumph for Doom. proving that his will was strong enough to recreate existence, fulfilling his belief that only he could bring true order to the universe. However, even as a god, he was defeated by Reed Richards, forcing him to face the fact that even with infinite power, Richards was still his rival, even admitting that he did it wrong and Reed would have done it right. The fallout of Secret Wars saw Doom seek an unbelievable kind of change: redemption. He shed the metal armor and tried to live as a simple, unscarred man. But that wasn't enough for his ego, so when Tony Stark was incapacitated, Victor Von Doom decided to take up the mantle of the hero and became the infamous Iron Man. This is the fascinating arc that explores whether a man like Doom could truly change, or if the pride would always bring him back to his true nature. Even as a hero, he still behaved like a tyrant, just a slightly better intentioned one. What about his mystical side? Because that rivalry with Doctor Strange has always simmered beneath the surface. Doom's ultimate ambition in magic was realized in One World Under Doom, where he briefly claimed the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme. Imagine, the master of the Doombots and the master of the dark arts, all in one suit. This moment cemented his reputation as the one being in the Marvel Universe who is truly unrivaled in both scientific and mystical domains. And for those of you that remember the 90s, like I do, you probably know about Doom 2099. That was literally the same Victor Von Doom. He was displaced in time, emerging in a dystopian future to immediately seize control and reorganize the world according to his will. The fact that the same person can be a king, a god, a hero, a sorcerer supreme, and a future despot proves that the echo of Victor Von Doom in his longevity and unbreakable will, no matter the place or time, Victor Von Doom will always rise to rule. That's his legacy. So we've covered the tragedy of his childhood, the defining arrogance of his rivalry with Reed Richards, and his epic evolution from a desposed tyrant to a literal god. But I'll leave you with this question. Do you think Dr. Doom is a true villain? Or is he simply a tragic figure whose immense pride is his only weakness? Has he ever truly acted without self-interest, even when saving the multiverse? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for listening to this episode of Marvel Echoes Resonance. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Scarred Monarch, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our daily episodes. Leaving a like really helps the channel grow, and let us know down below in a comment who you'd like to hear more of in future episodes. And for more content, including full deep dives and new reader primers, make sure you check out the link below and visit our website. Until next time, true believers, make mine Marvel.